The most important Sony camera of 2026 might not be the one that's launching today. In fact, it might be the one Sony hasn't even shown us yet. As the industry races toward dizzying megapixel counts, aggressive AI integration, and do-it-all hybrid bodies, the rumored Sony FX3 Mark II is reportedly heading in the exact opposite direction. And that could be exactly why filmmakers are paying attention. Over the last few months, the conversation around the FX3 successor has shifted dramatically. Early rumors focused on the usual suspects: higher resolution, processor upgrades, and speculative feature additions. But today's discussion is much more interesting. The real debate isn't about how many features Sony can pack into the chassis. It's about whether Sony can preserve the soul of the original FX3 while adapting to a market that looks entirely different than it did in 2021. The original FX3 succeeded because it refused to be everything to everyone. With a modest 12.1 megapixel full-frame sensor, active cooling, a compact body, and rock-solid 4K at 120 frames per second, it prioritized motion performance over marketing metrics. 5 years later, that philosophy is facing heavy pressure. Sony's own lineup now features high-resolution hybrid alternatives with robust photography features and EVFs. Meanwhile, Canon is pushing open-gate recording deeper into its ecosystem, and Nikon is capturing headlines with internal RAW and dedicated cinema firmware. Suddenly, the FX3 finds itself in the middle of a very crowded battlefield. This is exactly why the latest rumors of a 16-megapixel, partially stacked sensor are generating so much buzz. On paper, 16 megapixels sounds underwhelming next to today's 30 or 40-plus megapixel monsters. But in practice, it's exactly what cinema professionals are asking for. A faster sensor means drastically reduced rolling shutter, cleaner motion, superior low-light performance, and improved high frame rate capabilities with greater dynamic range. These are benefits that show up in the final edit, not just on a spec sheet. Look at what filmmakers are actually asking for online. Open-gate recording, internal RAW options, built-in waveform monitoring and false color tools, direct SSD recording, 32-bit float audio, pre-record buffers. Notice the pattern? None of these demands are about resolution. They're entirely about removing friction from professional production. Perhaps the biggest wildcard in the rumor mill is global shutter technology. If Sony can successfully combine a lightning-fast, cinema-focused sensor, the beloved compact FX3 body, and a global shutter, the FX3 Mark II won't just be an upgrade. It could become one of the most significant cinema releases of the decade. The FX3 Mark II doesn't need to win a megapixel war. It needs to win the filmmaking race. If Sony focuses on sensor speed, operational workflow, and sheer reliability instead of chasing vanity numbers, they will deliver a camera that competitors will spend the next 5 years trying to catch. But what do you think? What is your absolute must-have feature for the next generation of Sony cinema? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.